again, this isn't right or wrong, right? This is an idea. The idea is that every system in the body should give you access to the person. So this thing of touching, you're just learning. It's not like there's a specific spot. It's like through repetition, you'll just start to find the relationship between them. Does that make sense? Right? Mm-hmm. It's not like I know that there's a nerve here or that. But when I first started doing this, I would just look for where there were spaces in his body, and I would just start to touch them. Right? Because I was trying to figure out how a little person could ever possibly throw a big person. Right? And the trick, I thought, for me, the trick was that the spaces are all in the same places. Doesn't matter how big the muscle is, the spaces are always in the same spot. Does that make sense? See the idea? So I started studying spaces. Because everybody has a space right there. No matter how big they are, just unless, allowing for everybody, if somebody's got some kind of defect, maybe not. But there's muscle. There's a muscle ends there. See that? Right. So the idea we're talking about in the corner, it's not like, and the body has all these different systems, right? You get tendons, nerves, skin, muscle, bone. Basic technique, where I got stuck for a long time, was just on the bones. That makes sense? It's like blocks in space. And it's important to do that, right? Otherwise you won't have the basic technique. But if you get stuck there, that makes sense? So the assumption is that every system in the body should give me some access. Does that make sense? I don't want to use the key word, but like every system is a series of locks, and the right key for the right lock can open the system up. Does that make right? So this thing here is just to develop a, intuitive sense of the body. And you start to feel there's spaces in here. Mm-hmm. Now I can't do it. The trick is I have to be able to do it under speed and stress. If I can't do that, it's still interesting, but you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I haven't made it to where I can do it under speed and stress. Let's get closer. But you see that's the drawback, right? It takes people. Mm-hmm. You don't have time to do all this and fun like that. This is a little creepy too. Perhaps he wants to hit you and start doing one way or the other, probably it's worth it. But so that in terms of understanding, so I used to treat his arm like a threat. Now I try to look at it as there's a little space in here, and there's a tendon, and there's a bone. You can get real. Depends on how involved you want to be. You get an anatomy chart, steroid, and it helps. But it helps even more to find those things. Mm-hmm. So you can work with the muscles. It kind of works kind of like taking the muscle away from the bone. Which you can study at Choate. Or KFC, sorry, KFC. Right? Or you can study the joints. Does that make sense? So say, when you're doing Nikyo, you can think about it as just the joint, and we could jump on the joint, and the guy would stand there and take the pain, and then we would slap him. But there's lots of other ways to look at it. See the idea? And at first you just start touching. So if you want to study joints, it's nice to study fingers. Because there's lots of joints in your hand. And you can study the spaces between. Isn't it creepy? It's weird. But then something they can do it. And there's, anyway, not to give away too much. But anyway, you look at the system, and then you start, you feel with your hands, and then you start to connect what you feel to things that you see. So you connect this space to that space. And then when you get confused about the technique, instead of pushing your way through, follow the contours of the body. Does that make see the idea? Does that make sense? The technique is written in his body. All you have to do is move forward. And this is just, there's no like magic spot. You'll just find them. You know what I mean? That's why you have to, sometimes when you're doing technique, it helps to actually put your hands on them first. Which is kind of strange, because it's been years in Aikido, and very rarely you touch them with the body. It's an unusual martial art, where you don't touch the other person. But when you think about it, we don't do it. All of a sudden. Instead of always like against, you need to understand.